Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Juggernaut, and, well, every now and again, something so incredibly stupid happens that I have to make a video about it. That stupid, of course, being not related to gaming, at least not necessarily. What am I talking about? Well, if you mention Hitler, and if you, well, no, specifically, if you play as Hitler in Hearts of Iron 4, and you can see his sort of picture there, and, you know, everything in the UI, YouTube will automatically disable monetization for your video, though they will more than happily run ads and take the money for themselves. What the fuck is going on here? This is... okay, so let's put this into perspective a little bit. For those of you uninitiated, Hearts of Iron 4 is a historical grand strategy game where you play as any nation and leader in basically the pre-World War II era and during World War II, and actually a little bit after that as well the game runs. Well, technically I guess you can run it until modern times, but, you know, mechanically speaking the game is, stops at the start of the Cold War. You can, of course, perfectly fine and just perfectly well play as Mussolini, Franco, Stalin. You can also play as Hitler's evil cousin. This is a joke not many people will get, but still. You can play as all these people without any question, yet you so as much mention the name of Adolf and show his picture in the UI, and God help you. What the hell, YouTube? What the hell? Again, let me emphasize, historical grand strategy game. Historical. As much as you would like otherwise, Hitler happened. Okay, it's a thing that happened. Pretending it never did is not going to be beneficial for absolutely anyone in any stretch of the imagination. This news basically reached me through two people, Arumba and Commandalicious, mentioning this. And I'm going to read some of the comments. Well, I'm actually going to take a look at some of the comments that people have been dropping on their videos, respectively. So, I can guess who's behind this, says someone. Well, you can't. That's retarded, are you fucking kidding me? Let's go through the mess of comments to find something actually relevant. That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. God damn it, YouTube, stop being beep. Yeah, it is potentially one of the stupidest things YouTube has ever done. I will go as far as saying it's maybe even stupider than the automatic claims system for copyrights. It might even be more stupid than that, and that's like, yeah, that's, you know it's serious when something's more stupid than that. The question is, do they do it for Stalin? Because if not, that's some leftist double-standard BS. Not to get too political, but I wouldn't agree that I wouldn't equalize Stalin and Hitler completely. I wouldn't do that at all, and I think anyone who does is being ignorant. But you know, that's going into politics that are probably going to piss off a whole bunch of people. Do I think Stalin was any better than Hitler? That's debatable, maybe not necessarily, but you do not equalize a communist and a National Socialist. That's just ignorance, basically. Regardless, that's completely besides the point. You can play as Mussolini. You can play as Petain. You can play as the Croatian dude as well, who was a Nazi. You can play as any other guy, but you can't play as Hitler because he's magic, essentially. That's what I'm getting out of all of this. He's this magical being that cannot be gazed upon. He is basically a pharaoh. He's an Egyptian god, apparently, according to our overlords at Google and YouTube. And the mere mortals may not gaze at the gloriousness of Hitler or something like that. I don't know. Now, I understand why you might want to disable monetization for what is basically propaganda videos glorifying neo-Nazism and stuff like that. Yeah, I accept that, okay? You should go out of your way to discourage, for lack of a better word, neo-Nazism and all that, but in a historical game? That's like playing as the Roman Empire and not being allowed to pick Caesar. Because Gauls would be, or the French, I guess now, would be offended because they live in Gaul. What was at the time, Gaul? That makes no fucking sense! Are you fucking kidding me? Mind you, this is happening before the game's even released. Is at the time of recording is 5th of June. And the game, of course, gets released tomorrow. But, what the hell is this? Paradox, I feel for you. I really do. I am disgusted by this. I am actually disgusted by this. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Supposedly, don't quote me on this. Supposedly, this one guy released a video on Hearts of Iron 3. Okay, Hearts of Iron 3. A week after the attack on Belgium happened in real life. So, the attack on Belgium happens, a terrorist attack, and he releases a video of Nazi Germany conquering Belgium, and his video gets taken down. In Hearts of Iron 3. Again, I'm sorry, I really am, but the annexation of Belgium, or I guess the occupation of Belgium more precisely, did happen historically, and in a historical game, you can't just have, I guess, what would be the ideal circumstance in the Hearts of Iron here for YouTube? That Hitler never came to power, and Germany never moved. So basically the situation that was in 1934 and 1936 just froze in place in time, and nothing ever happened. People didn't go to work, people didn't eat, people didn't... There's just nothing. The world just froze. Is that what you want to say? That is idiotic.
Boar has a tendency to play with his prey. Do not let yourself become
that's stupid, but kinda understandable, says... I'm not gonna say his name, obviously. Well, no, it's not understandable. Again, it's double standards, and it's not understandable. We, the content creators, are getting bent over and screwed with plenty. This is just cherry atop of the already there icing on the proverbial cake. This is a good question, though. This is a good question someone asked. What if someone uploads a documentary about World War II and about Hitler on YouTube? A documentary that he himself records and makes, not a documentary that is, you know, stolen from someone, and uses footage from Hearts of Iron. Would that be considered, you know, an infringement upon whatever copyrights that... It doesn't fall under copyrights, that's the thing. Hitler's picture is not copyrighted, and furthermore, they didn't actually use a photo of Hitler, they just used a stylized drawing of him in Hearts of Iron. So, that said, what would happen if you use footage from Hearts of Iron, among other things as well? Would you be rewarded? Well, would you... Well, maybe, no, not rewarded, maybe is the wrong choice of word there, but would you be allowed to monetize the video, or would it just be blocked, or would monetization be disabled? on a documentary about an event that happened and shook the world. Apparently we're not allowed to speak about it as well. Freedom of speech, my bloody arse, okay? I'm all for some things should never be said and some things should never be done and freedom of speech should not be abused, but this is just, this is borderline infringing on people's rights. It would be infringing if they were blocking the videos, but they're just disabling monetization, which is like treading this fine line between infringing on people's rights and being arseholes. And they're leaning more towards being arseholes than actually, you know, infringing on one's rights, but they are infringing on a content creator's, though, a content creator's ability to make money for himself and to live and to do his job. Arumba did nothing wrong. Quill did nothing wrong, even though Quill's playing Mussolini in Italy. But if he were playing Nazi Germany, he wouldn't have done anything wrong by picking that country. Who's to tell me that for some reason Napoleon is so vastly different from Hitler in a not in a political sense or in a what they did sense, but in a sense of historical gameplay, that I can pick a man who wanted to conquer Europe and a man who wanted to conquer Europe. They did it through different ways and had different methods, and one was inherently more of a bastard than the other, and inherently more evil, fair enough, but why does that matter in a historical game? It's like playing the Napoleonic Wars and Napoleon being, well, not there. You just black out his entire existence and say, well, France never attempted the Napoleonic War. No, there was never such a thing. They lived in peace and harmony. That is some leftist bullshit. And again, I should note, and be fair enough to YouTube, they're not taking down the videos, which if they were, I'm assuming if they could, they would, but they can't because that's, I'm pretty sure that's illegal in the sense that the video isn't doing anything wrong. There isn't anything wrong with the video. It isn't infringing on anything. It isn't just, there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with showing Hitler in World War II, for Christ's sake. I weep for humanity, I really do. Why? I think, why? That's a very good question. Why, Mr. Again, I'm not gonna say any names here for obvious reasons, but why? That is bloody retarded. Here's the thing, though. I'm hoping that we can do this with YouTube and all that. We can do this. It's okay. It's okay. YouTube can do this. We can't stop them. Fair enough. I'm hoping this doesn't become a trend. I'm really, really, really hoping this doesn't become a trend. That's my Steam, by the way, and I'm being extremely unprofessional about it. I'm really hoping this doesn't become a trend, because I know Hitbox won't do such a thing, because I know the people at Hitbox, they're good people. What about Twitch, though? Imagine, I sincerely hope not, but imagine one day Twitch decides to ban monetization, or even worse, ban streamers that play Hitler in Hearts of Iron 4. The end is nigh, gentlemen. It really, really is. Oh my god. This is a disaster. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, guys. And, well, my name has been Juggernaut. Please remember to like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video. And until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye, and, take care, and don't you dare see a picture of Hitler, because that's illegal. Kind of.